right, guys, and welcome back to our other lesson. We are today then doing lesson 2.2, which is understand multiplicative comparisons. So this lesson's a little tricky, but we have to stay focused so that we understand what the question is asking us. Um, in this lesson, it's reading. It's all on how you are comprehending and understanding what you are reading. So I am going to kind of break it down for you as much as possible so that you can better understand it. Let's take a look at the Explore and use multiplication to compare two numbers. Okay, so we start off with always circling important numbers, but let's read the directions. It says there are 20 counters. 5 of the counters are yellow. The rest are red. So this is the way I like to do it. I like to say, okay, well, how much do I have in all? I have 20 counters. So I'm going to put that number right here and say, okay, it doesn't matter how much yellow or red I have. I need to have a total of 20 counters. Now I'm going to go to the second option. The second option says, or the second sentence, not option, says 5 of the counters are yellow. Well, I know it's not a number, but it's a word. So I still have to circle that word because that word means a number. Sometimes you might have a number. Sometimes you have the word for the number, but it's still the number. So let's see. It says 5 of the counters are yellow. Well, that means that I'm going to go to the yellow and I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly what this says. 5 of the counters are yellow. The rest of them are red. Now, this part right here, the rest are red, is my I don't know. That's my question mark. So there's two ways to figure that out. Either you count from, since we had 5, you start counting with 6 all the way up to 20. Or you say, well, let's see, if I have 20 counters, that's my all, right here. And what if I just took away the 5 yellow? If I take away the 5 yellow, that's going to, see, let me see, borrow from the 2, give it to the 1's place. Okay, that's going to be 15. Well, then guess what? That's how many red I have. I have 15 red, and I'll show you. I'll show you the first way. You can count up to 20. I have 5 here, so let's count. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Watch, there's going to be 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I just showed you two different ways. The easiest way would then be to say how much you have in all, take away what they gave you. They said that you have 5. So if you take that 5 away, it's going to tell you what you have left. That means that we have, I always like to put the numbers here on the side. Here we go. We have 5 yellow and we have 15 red. And I know that my answer makes sense because if I added 5 plus 15, that equals to 20. So I know that I'm right. Now let's go to the first question. This is where we need to box important words. How many more? And the word than. These two words, there's a reason why I boxed it. This is called the cube strategy. We circle important numbers. We underline what they're asking us for. And now we're putting a box around keywords. These keywords are kind of like your context clues in reading. How many more? What does that mean? Do I need to add? Do I need to subtract? Do I need to multiply? A lot of you get confused between how many more and how many. Notice it says more. Not only does it say more, but it also says than. You are comparing red to yellow. So what you're really finding is the difference. How many more red? That means how many more means subtract. The word than also means to subtract. I need to find, well, let's see, if I have 5 yellow and I have 15 red, I need to find out how many more red do I have than yellow. Well, that's an easy way to find out. If I know that I need to subtract and I know that I have 15 here and 5 here, I'm going to minus 15 minus 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. I don't need to borrow anything and bring on that 1. That means how many more red counters? I have 10. I have 10 more red counters, which kind of makes sense because if I have 10 more plus that extra 5, then that gives me 15. So I have 10 more red counters and I have yellow counters. Okay? All I need to do is find the difference of 15 to 5, which is going to give me 10. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the second one so that we kind of understand where this multiplication kicks in. Okay, so watch this. It says, how many times as how many red do we have? We have 15 red. So what that's telling me is, well, I have 15 red, right? 15 is, and I need to figure this part out. This is going to be my answer. That means that I'm going to say, okay, well, how many times as many red counters are there as yellow counters? I already know my red counters because this is my red counters, but I need to look for my yellow counters. Well, the number that I have for yellow is 5, so let's put that 5 here. Now it's telling me, well, how many times as many red counters are there as yellow counters? Now I have to use multiplications. If I want to see how many times more red are there than yellow, I have to think, well, if there's 15 red and there's 5 yellow, then 15 divided by 5, you could do that too. Or it will give you what answer. Or I could say, well, 5 times what number is 15? Well, that means that 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. In other words, if I grabbed this set of counters, which is 15, and I divided it into groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And here's my one line. That's one, this is one group right here. One group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is group number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is group number 3. I have 3 times as many red as I have yellow. Now, I know that might sound a little confusing right now, but don't worry. We're going to go ahead and get the hang of it. All right. And here's the next page. Build understanding and understand multiplicative comparisons. So let me explain it to you like this. This is kind of like the part whole. My whole is my 24. This is how much I have in all. Let's look at the question. Okay, it says, write 2 comparison sentences. These are words. See, that's times as many as. Write 2 sentences for 24 equals 4 times 6. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that the word equals or the equal sign, this you do need to know. The equal sign means the word is. That looks like a 15, but it is not. It is the word is. There we go. Okay. So 24 is, meaning equals. How many times? Well, as many as blank. Okay. This is how I like to explain it. I'm not going to count this one. We're multiplying. I'm counting this one. Forget the 6 inside. Right now, how many boxes do I have? I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, and I have 4 boxes. That means I have 4 times How many times does the number, now we're looking at the 6. How many times does the number 6 show up? It shows up 4 times. So it makes sense if I said 4 times, see, times, as many as 6. So I could say 24 is 4 times as many as 6. This equation here is this one right here. But now we're going to do the commutative property of multiplication, which means I'm just going to switch the numbers around. Watch. I still have 24 because the commutative property means it doesn't matter where I put my numbers, I'm still going to have the same product or the same answer. All I'm doing is changing the number order. So I could say 4 times 6. Now we switched it. Now, how many times do you see the number 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I could also say that 24 is 6 times as many as what numbers repeated 6 times? 4. Remember, we're not going to look at this number right now. So that's pretty much it. 24 is 4 times as many as 6, or 24 is 6 times as many as 4. Let's try it again. Now this one's a little different because look at these two words right here. More than. This does not mean multiply. This means, boys and girls, add. So this is the way that I like to explain it. My whole is the whole thing. I have 12 in all. How do I know? Because it's next to the equal sign. My in all. It says 8 more than 4. Should I put 8 plus 4? Or should I put 4 plus 8? Now, some of you are probably saying, oh, 8 plus 4. Not necessarily, no. Because it's saying 8 more than 4. That means that if I had 4, and I added 8 more, then I have 12. What this is saying is 12 equals 4 plus 8. So we kind of like write it backwards. We start off with what we had. We had 4. And at the end, you put down what you more than, what did you add to it? You added 8. So this is the only one that we need to be a little tricky then. It's a little tricky because of the more than we're adding. This one, however, is multiplication. So let's get to it. 12 equals 3 times as many as 4. 3 times, 1, 2, 3. 3, the way that you say it is the way that you write it. 3 times as many as 4. Because inside of each box, you're having, in other words, if I had 4 and I wanted to find out what 3 times as many as 4 is, I'm looking at this. This means 12 is 3 times as many as 4. Or 12 equals 3 times 4. Okay, let's practice. Sentences. Here we go. Let's practice together. What number goes first? 15. What's that word for equals? Because I can't put equals. It's is. 15 is. Should I put 15 is 3 times 5? No. Right? We can't put 3 times 5. We're going to write it similar, but we have to include a few little words in there. Let's do it like this. 15 is 3. So write 3 times, write times, as many as, see, as many as 5. Then I know, okay, now I'm done. Let's try this again. Now we're going to do it reverse. So let me change colors so you know I'm doing the reverse. Because it says 2. So let's try second time. 15 is, I can't do it 3 times. Let's do it the other way. We're switching the numbers. Is 5 times as many as 3. Correct. 5 times as many as 3. That's it. That is it. That's it. You say it. You write it like you say it. Except that just don't forget to include these 3 little words. As many as many as. Okay? Instead of just saying 3 times 5. It's 3 times as many as 5. Let's try it again with this one. 32. All right, so let's go. 32 is exactly the same exact way that it is. 4 times as many as 8. Correct. And now we're going to do the second way. So here we go. Second way is same thing. 32 is, now we're switching the numbers. So now instead of 4, it's the other way. 8 times as many as, right, 4. That is it. Now they want us to draw a model to compare the sentence, or in other words, we're going to write the equation because you guys need to get used to writing the equation. So we're going to write it like this. 21 is, what did I say about more than? It means plus. So can I put 14 plus 7? No, remember what I said over here? It's the other way around. 14 more than 7, meaning I had 7, and then I added 14 more than 7. So the way that you write that is 21 is 14 more than 7. That's the only one that I told you to be careful with. And number 4, let's try it again. 40 is times. Oh, that's an easy one. I'm going to write it exactly how it is. 8. The word times is times as many as 5 is the last number that I write. Okay? And that is it. That is all we need to do. All right? We're going to go ahead and do 2 more quick problems and we are done with this lesson. So good job and let's keep working hard. Here we go. All right. Here we go. We're going to look at the in-class practice. I'm going to do a few of these. Let's go straight to, let's do question 5. We're going to do, you know what? We're going to do the odd numbers. So let's look at 5. We're going to write 2 sentences. So let's write the sentences. 48, exactly how it is, equals means is 6 times as many as 8. And now let's do the commutative property. Switch the numbers around. So 48 stays the same, is stays the same, but now instead of 6, we're going to flop the numbers. 8. So 48 is 8 times as many as 6. Good job. Right? Now we're going to write an equation. Here we go. Okay, we're going to do, well, I know I said the odd numbers, but actually we're going to do 7 and 8. So let's take a look at 7. 20 is 2 times times as many as 10. That was easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now let's take a look at number 18. Number 8. 18 is. Is what? An equal sign. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Equal sign. Here we go. 18 is 10 more than 8. 10 plus 8 or 8 plus 10? It's 8 plus 10, right? Because if I had 8 and now I added I added 10 more than 8. So I have 18 equals, or in other words, 18 is 8 plus 10. Because this means 18 is 10 more than 8. Now, let's take a look at number 9. 35 is 7 times as many as 5. That's it. Now look at number 11. This is a reading one pretty much. You have to, it's kind of like an inference here. Look what it says. Earthworms have 4 more hearts than humans. Well, I think that's an important one. So they have 4 more hearts. So let's do this. We have humans and we have earthworms. So humans and earthworms. Earthworms have 4. Let's draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 more hearts than humans. Well, it says how many hearts do earthworms have? Well, I have to think. Does it tell you how many hearts human has? No, but we should know, right? Oh, wait a minute. If a human, this is how you need to think. If a human has 1 heart and an earthworm has 4 more hearts than a human, I'm going to add all of this together. Meaning, if a human it doesn't say 4 times more, it says 4 more. So if a human is 1 and the earthworm is 4 more than 1, that means that an earthworm has 5 hearts. So right, the answer is 5. How many hearts do earthworms have? They have 5 hearts. Yes, big feelings. Okay, so earthworms have 5 hearts. And that is it for our lesson today. Guys, don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all the lessons that I post. And especially if you need a little refresh while you're doing your homework to kind of go over the lesson that was taught during the day, this will definitely help you. All right, guys, see you again. Bye.